Okay, they're back. Nothing But Thieves have just released their first single in 2 years called Evolution. I absolutely love this song. It came out a few days ago and it just jumped straight back into that old Nothing But Thieves sound. Their latest album, Dead Club City, had a bit more of a dance element to it. You know, there was a song on there that was definitely sampled from Daft Punk. So they moved in a slightly different direction. But the slightly more alternative rock raw sound that they had before that on Broken Machine, for instance, with Particles and Amsterdam. That's my favorite album of theirs, and that's my favorite sound of theirs. And it looks like they've started to move back in that direction. So I'm really excited for what they do next. Connor's vocals on this album are lovely as always. He's such an incredible vocalist. I remember back in when COVID was happening, there was that period where a lot of bands were doing live gigs on like Zoom or online or whatever, and their song Real Love Song they did just with all of them in their houses, and he's sat down and just doing this absolutely unbelievable vocal performance through this song, and it's always stuck with me that I've always liked Nothing But Thieves, but that was kind of that turning point of, okay, I see how amazing this band are. This song is no different. The vocal performance is great. There's the more subdued elements, and then there's the more power vocals that he employs throughout. So it has everything from a vocal performance that you want from lead singer Connor of this band and what he does on the other albums or what he does on this song. The instrumental layering through the first verse is really cool. I like the mixing of the opening. There's this kind of light drums that comes in, and then you go through that process before you kick into the main drums in the pre-chorus, and the elements and the instruments kind of come in slowly. It's almost like a sort of reintroduction to the band of, okay, here's Connor's vocal, here's now a bit of drums, here's a bit of guitar, and then, okay, this is your Nothing But Thieves sound that you're used to and that you love, and we're back, guys, let's do this. Speaking of the guitar, the riff in the chorus is really cool. I think it's a real complementary sound to the emotion throughout the chorus and through the rest of the song. I think it really fits perfectly with the drums and everything else that's going on. It's just a well blended song from all the different elements within there. One of the lyrics I really like in this song actually has a mention of a rock venue, like a live gig venue that's in Southend, which is in Essex in the UK, again not too far from where I grew up. And the lyric is, "There's something in me stirring, a memory away. I saw it down at Chinnery's in halcyon days." Chinnery's is that gig location, and Nothing But Thieves were from Leigh-on-Sea, which is about 5 minutes down the road. I mean, the song's called Evolution, so it feels like he's probably talking about the path that they've gone on from the start to where they are now over the journey of their career as a band. But it could also be talking about, you know, the emotional journey that they've gone on, or the emotional journey you go on as a human yourself throughout life and through all the different things you do. So I think that the lyrics in this song are beautiful, and you know, the lyrics that they've done in their songs over the years have always been really, really poignant and really, really beautiful, and very unique, and a very unique level of storytelling that's in there. Sometimes bands can blend these really, really beautiful instrumentals and then the lyrics over the top don't hit as much, but it really feels like Nothing But Thieves always hit with the instrumental sections and the lyrical sections of their songs. So I absolutely love that. The bridge has so much power. This is where you get the higher pitched guitar tone that kind of levels up the crescendo of the song, and then Connor's vocals, which just punch straight through the song and are really, really hitting you in the chest whenever you listen to a Nothing But Thieves song. There's I think power is the way to describe the song. Emotion and power is how I describe the song. It reminds me of the song The Borders from Sam Fender, which is one of my favorite songs of all time. There's this storytelling aspect throughout. The energy's super fast paced, but you follow along this story with this real rhythmic drum beat and then this crescendo through all the instruments at the end before you get a repetition of the chorus and you hear the chorus again. So there's just so much power that comes through in this song. It's such an impactful way for Nothing But Thieves to come back after 2 years. And it wasn't 2 years since they released an album. It's been longer than that. It was 2 years since they released a single. So, you know, it feels like it's been a long time. 2 years isn't a lot actually in the scheme of bands and musicians making different music. But for me, it feels like a long time because I've always been a big Nothing But Thieves fan, attempting those high notes, especially on Amsterdam in the car, which I don't always hit, but it's worth the shot anyway. So yeah, Check out Nothing But Thieves Evolution. Fantastic song, fantastic band. Looking forward to what they do next. Listen to the song and then comment down below and let me know what you think, because I want to hear your thoughts. If you enjoyed this video, give me a like and then subscribe and hit the bell icon so you never miss a video or an episode. Last week's podcast was an album review of the Bleachers' new album, so give that a listen. It will come up at the end of this video to be recommended. Give that a click, give that a watch, comment, and then I'll see you again for the next one.